So good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Regan Miner. I'm the chairman of the Historic District Commission, and welcome to the May 19th regular meeting of the Norwich Historic District Commission. So thank you all for being here with us this evening. I'm just going to read kind of my general spiel when we have applicants present. So bear with me. For those who have heard this before, I apologize. Just to start, I wanted to let everyone know that this meeting is being recorded. So if you do not feel comfortable with having yourself on camera, feel free to take yourself off. If you are not speaking, I would encourage everyone to mute themselves just so that we don't have any background noise or anything like that. So welcome everyone. Our meeting tonight will be broken up into two sections. First will be the public hearing, and the regular meeting will be second. The public hearing is the opportunity for the applicants to present their applications to the commission and for the commission to ask the applicants questions. Once the public hearing closes, the regular meeting will then begin. The regular meeting is where the commission discusses and votes on applications. Applicants are welcome to stay and listen during the regular meeting, but please note that you will not be allowed to speak or provide any more information regarding your application. And you can stay, but you do not have to. You're not required to. Regardless, all applicants will receive written notification regarding the commission's decisions by me via email tomorrow. So thank you all for being here. Are there any questions on what I just outlined? All right, hearing none. I will open up the public hearing. And the first item on the agenda is COA 450 87 Town Street. Is there a applicant present to discuss this application? I don't think I see anybody. During this time, I may ask Richard, you had spoken with the applicant this week, and I know you had asked them to join us this evening. Did you have any follow-up from them that you wanted to just bring up briefly right now?
No follow-up. They were, anyway, they were kind of getting, let's say, resistant to some of the measures, feeling like Norwich has been overbearing on them. You know, I discussed that with you before. And I don't expect, I would have hoped that she would have shown up, but it's not unexpected that they're not.
Okay.
And candidly, we should probably just table the thing till they figure out what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you.
Regan, I talked to Jeannie's daughter a week or so ago.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And I told her if she had any questions to give me a call, and I gave her my card, and I told her that she should attend the meeting, and I thought that she was going to, so I'm a little surprised that she's not here. Yeah, in fact, I told her to contact you to get the Zoom link for it. I don't know if she did or not, but
yeah, I have her daughter's email, which I've been emailing her regularly. Not always hearing back from her, but I have been sending her the email. So and she did get the email today with the Zoom link. So
I don't know. I mean, I think I agree with Richard. It's tough. I mean, I did try to talk to her about what she was about what they wanted to do, and my understanding is what she wants is to keep the existing awning, but basically have something that comes down farther to block the sun. Okay. But what exactly that's going to look like, I don't know.
Okay, well, that's good to know. So we can follow up more regarding this application, the regular meeting portion, in the interest of time. But thank you, Richard and Greg, for both following up with the applicant. Much appreciated. Okay, so then the next COA on our agenda is COA 453 34 East Town Street, and I believe we have two representatives on the call here this evening to discuss this application. Pam and Lynn, I don't know who wants to go first, but I will turn the floor over to both of you.
Yes, thank you very much. And I'm going to turn the floor over to Lynn, who's going to speak on our behalf.
Thank you. Well, hang on, Lynn, you're muted. I hate when that happens. There we go.
Thank you. My name is Lynn Smith. I'm an architect, and I'm working with United Community and Family Services on the window replacement project for their building at 34 Town Street. We came before you last month with a proposal to replace all the windows, and you reviewed the application and determined that the rear windows could be replaced as presented, the shutters could be added as presented, but you were unhappy with the proposed aluminum storm screen windows on the sides of the building. So we come to you tonight with a revised proposal for the main windows on the main body of the house only. We appreciate your approval of the other elements as I just discussed. So this reapplication gave us the opportunity to assess how to improve the approach to appropriateness within the district, and also energy efficiency and maintenance for this, what is now a commercial building. So we come before you tonight with a proposal to replace 20 windows on the main body of the house that are currently insulated 1/1 double hung wood windows with 6/6 wood insulated double hung windows. By using the insulated sash, we will eliminate the need for either interior or exterior storm windows. There are a couple of reasons for doing that. One is the insulated has the best U value measure of conductance of heat. And so it's really the best window to use. We came before you last month with a single pane window, and it really wasn't the best option as far as energy efficiency, but we thought that you would like that better given the historic nature of the house. But in reassessing, coming back with the double pane window and no storms, interior or exterior. Does that explain our?
Yeah, thank you so much, Lynn. So does anyone have questions for the applicant?
Just to be clear a little bit, what windows we're talking about. I'm trying to look at the picture of the house, and when the 20 windows, obviously the ones across the front facing the road, the ones on either side as well, we're talking.
Correct. So if you're looking at the picture, every window with 6/6 windows delineated, and the windows with shutters, that's the key. Window with shutters are the ones that we're talking about within this application.
The plan doesn't have, only shows the front of what's attached.
You should have a sheet with elevations.
It only shows the front.
It's the front elevation. What you got? What we have.
I think the elevations were in the application from last month. So we have with this revised COA, I believe I'm seeing on the last page just the elevation for the front, but I can understand that this is what you're anticipating on doing for the main portion of the building.
So when you say main portion, because there's the kind of the original part of the house, and then there's that back section, but there's still the two sides of that back section are still visible from the road. I can't remember. What's the plan for the windows on the backs on those areas?
The sides of the main body of the house will be, we're requesting the 6/6 two divided light windows.
Yeah, but are you talking about the whole east and west sides, or just the sides of the?
Just the main body of the house, the sides of the main gable body of the house. You know, I think maybe your printout It was an 11 by 17. So
Oh,
maybe you only got, can I share my screen?
yeah, sure. I can let you do that, Lynn. Hang on. Go for it. You should be able to do so.
All right, let me see if I can figure it out. Share screen.
I think we might have missed it when I condensed my 8.5 by 11. So that makes sense.
Yeah, it looks like it was cut off.
Okay.
There
Can
it
you
is.
see-
Oh, there we
can you
go.
see my screen?
Yeah.
We can. Yes. Thank you so much.
Oh, okay. So all the windows with shutters, and they total 20 windows, 2 different sizes, little attic windows up here and the larger windows on the front portion of the house. As you may remember from last month, the rear portion of the house was built at a later date, and in the 1850s, I believe, and those 2/2 windows are appropriate for that error. So I'm not changing that design at all.
Mhm. Thank you. This clears it up for me, Lynn. Greg, does this work for you? Does this make sense?
I was just trying, I don't remember from last month what was going in the windows in the back part there.
Same thing. I can pull up the last month. Hold on. Nope.
Is it the same kind of windows except that it's not 6/6? Is that?
Maybe I'm going to confuse the issue. So in the back part of the house, do you see my cursor?
Yes.
Okay, they're going to be insulated wood windows, but 2/2. As
Yeah.
shown in
Okay.
the picture.
Okay. Very good.
Awesome. Thank you, Lynn, for sharing your screen. This was helpful. Any other questions for the applicant?
Well, just thank you for getting rid of the aluminum.
Okay, let me see if I can stop sharing. There you go.
There you go. Perfect.
Right.
Thank you so much. That was great. You're a pro, Lynn.
I'm learning.
Awesome. I don't have any further questions for the applicant. Greg, Richard, or Nancy, do you have any further questions for Lynn or Pam?
No.
No.
Okay, great. So thank you, guys. Pam and Lynn, you're welcome to stick around if you'd like, but I know Pam has places to be, so Pam may need to take off, and I will email you both tomorrow morning, just so that you know.
Thank you very much.
I'll stick around.
Sounds good, Lynn. Thank you. Pam, have a wonderful vacation.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on with our agenda here. We have COA 454, 7 East Town Street. And I believe we do have an applicant present to discuss the COA. So Clayton, I will invite you to take it away and give us a short little presentation.
Awesome. Thanks, Regan. So our retaining wall for our driveway collapsed over the winter, the snowfall, and I guess the combination of that made it start to cave in. We lost 10% of our driveway, so I started fixing it immediately. And we're again new to the area. We really apologize for not sitting in the COA for this. But we want to update the old concrete retaining wall with the new concrete retaining wall and put stone on top of it, just like the rest of the house does in front, so that our driveway, when you go into it, it matches the other side of the wall and the front of the house. And it kind of blocks off the rest of the yard, so you kind of have more of just like the awe of the house than you do with everything else.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. Do any of the commissioners have a question for the applicant?
So it looked to me that the replacement work was not just the retaining wall at the driveway, but there was also, it looked like an additional area that was added on with concrete block as well. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, so I built I put a flower or a garden bed that's attached to it that will be covered by the stone wall.
So you're gonna face over the concrete block with stone?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Very good. Because right now all I'd seen was the blank concrete blocks there.
Yes, sir. I didn't want to start putting the stone on since I'm already this far into it.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent.
Wonderful. Thank you, Greg. Richard, Nancy, any questions for Clayton?
No.
No.
No? No? Okay,
Richard?
great. So Clayton, you're welcome to stick around if you'd like to hear the regular portion of the meeting. But if not, if you need to take off, that's totally fine too. And I will chat with you via email tomorrow.
Thank you, Ms. Reagan.
Thank you. Thank you for being here this evening. We appreciate it. All right, next on our agenda, we have COA 455 for Scotland Road, and I believe we do have an applicant present to discuss this application. So Kyle, feel free to take yourself off mute and please give us an overview of what you've got going on.
Yep, my name's Kyle DeGray. I own K DeGray Demolition here in Norwich. My mom actually owns the property at 4 Scotland Road. I'm going to be doing some work there to kind of spruce things up. In the future, we plan on doing some new windows and painting as well. But for now, I've got a deck that I'm going to be taking off the rear of the house. The deck looked like it was actually moved there from the side of the house, like as an entire piece about 20 years ago. But it's rotting. It's really not on good supports. It's not really attached to the house that well. The stairs that are coming down to her backyard are not doing well either. There are entire steps that are either rotting completely or are just, one step I think is just missing at this point. So I will be doing a full demolition of the deck on the rear and the side of the building. We're going to replace her little step out to where she gets her mail. I don't know if you guys have the pictures loaded up. We're going to be replacing that with like just a square platform that's going to go down into the ground and to be bolted into her house. Obviously we're going to be doing everything up to building code and all that. We already have the building and zoning inspectors involved. So yeah, that's my plan. I just wanted to come along for the ride tonight, hear what the verdict was.
You've done some roof work on there too, right?
Correct. Yep. So, yep, the roof was leaking in several spots. There's some interior water damage that got addressed in the past week or so. So yeah, the roof, that was the first step, and now the deck is the second step.
Yeah, and Kyle and I had chatted about the roof earlier, and since there was a water leakage issue, and he explained the materials that he was proposing to me, and since it was like for like, I encouraged him to move forward since it was an emergency at that point, and just to still come before us regarding the roof issue as a, just with a formal COA, so he could at least address the leaking issue and then still come before us. So wanted just to let the commission know that Kyle and I were in communication about that.
I'm looking at the picture. You can't even see the porch on the house.
Do any commissioners have questions for Kyle?
No. Okay.
Give you a minute to look over the application if you guys want.
You've
Just a
already
second.
got a building permit.
Correct.
And I just wanted to add in Kyle's scope of work, he did have the roof work and also the demolition of the porch included. So I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like necessary maintenance. There will be no substantial changes to the appearance with the refurbished.
No. Nope, the house itself is going to have zero changes to appearance. The deck is a structure that was, I believe, was added in the 50s or 60s. Does not add anything to the house. Once it's removed, it's actually going to open the house up a little more, and we'll be able to go ahead and do all the other necessary changes that we want to, like I said prior, windows, painting, etc.
Sounds good. All right. Any further questions? Oh, go ahead, Nancy. Did you have anything?
Nope, that was okay.
Okay, sounds good. Well, hearing none, Kyle, you're welcome to stick around if you'd like, but if you need to zoom off, that's okay too. And I'll be in touch with you tomorrow via email.
Thank you.
Thank you. So next up on the agenda, last item on our public hearing portion of the meeting is COA 456 Crossway Street, which is the Little Plains Park. And we have Pat McLaughlin, Director of Public Works, here to present the application. Pat, take it away.
Okay, thank you, Reagan. So basically, the one-page write-up kind of describes it all. We've got funding to restore. It's basically restoration and repainting of the fence. We have there's some pieces that are broken and missing, and fortunately, we have some spare pieces for the fence. So we will be replacing like the missing section there in the second picture from Storm Irene that we had gotten recast back at the time, soon after, within a year after it was smashed by a tree limb. And but we just never put it back up because it wasn't paint. The rest of the fence, we didn't know how to paint it and make it look like the rest of the fence, basically. So we just kind of held on to it, but now we're going to be reattaching that, as well as replacing some of the other brackets and a couple of the broken metal posts. There's none of the granite posts are missing or going to need any real work. So we're going to strip the paint, and there is some lead involved with it. So it'll be abated, properly. And then it's going to be treated with like a 3-coat system of like Tnemec paint, like we used on the stairs at the city hall like 10 years ago. Same type of product, only this is going to be black instead of green, which the stairs at city hall probably should have been black too in hindsight, but they were painted green to keep what the coloring scheme had been before.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Pat. Are there any questions for the applicant? No. I'll just say that I'm really excited to see the fence being restored, Pat. So thank you, and to Public Works and the City of Norwich for doing that. That's really wonderful to see. So thank you.
Well, I probably should recognize that there have been a few past council people and current council people that have kind of made that a priority. So Tucker Braddock was a big advocate for it back when in his day. We never were able to get the funding. Joe DeLucia and it was an advocate for it now. Stacy was an advocate for it. It's overdue.
Yeah.
But I'm not
Team
the only
effort.
one carrying the banner.
The team effort, and it's going to be great. So thank you guys for doing that. So Pat, you're welcome to stick around if you'd like, or if you got to jet off, that's fine too. And I'll be in touch with you tomorrow via email.
Okay, thanks. I'll probably stay and listen. It shouldn't be too long, probably.
I hope not too. So you're welcome to stick around. Thank you guys. All right. So that concludes the public hearing. And at this time, I'm going to close the public hearing and open the regular meeting here at 5:57 p.m. And so the first item on our agenda during the regular meeting is action on COAs. So what I'd like to do first regarding COA 450 87 Town Street, I think what I would like to do is make a motion to discuss the application before we vote and take any action on the application. So I would entertain a motion to discuss the application.
I move we discuss the application.
Thank you, Nancy. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thanks so much, Greg. So one of the things that I'm considering us doing, since we have to, there's a timeline and a clock ticking with us approving applications. I
Right.
don't believe that we can table this application again.
And no.
We've already tabled it once. I believe we have to either approve it this evening or deny it this evening. And I don't think that we can approve it since we are not having enough information to go on based on the application that was submitted. So one of my recommendations is for us to deny this application, but with follow-up with the applicant to explain what we're looking for down the road and to help provide them with maybe additional examples and to help, facilitate this process a little bit easier for them. So I'm open to the thoughts on that.
Well, Regan, I agree with your assessment that we need to act on it now. We cannot table it again. That's past the time frame. So we
Correct.
will have to act, and it seems like we don't have enough information. So I agree with you. I think we have to deny it because we don't have the information, but perhaps help them to, again, or try to help them again, so it can be put together for approval at a later time. Although they are going to want it to keep out the sun pretty fast, aren't they?
Yeah.
And that part is kind of a shame. Unless, Greg, you have any insight from what you ascertained in speaking with them. Do you?
And mostly I just said that because I felt bad that we'd had to, deny, put them off before. And I said, you need
Right.
to come and explain exactly what you want, because we can't really tell. We're trying to guess. And, all she said was, and I asked her specifically, are you thinking about removing the existing, because it has that kind of overhang right now. And I asked her if they were talking about removing that. And she said, no, they wanted to add an awning onto it. But the pictures of awnings that she's put in there are things that go onto a flat wall. It's not anything that would be able to attach to the existing overhang. So it leaves me a little confused as to what they want to try and do.
Yeah.
So that leaves us not knowing what it would look like, I guess.
Right. I mean, I understand what they want to accomplish is to somehow reduce the amount of sunlight that's blasting in those windows, because it does. I've been in there with the sun shining, and it does definitely heat the space up quite a bit. And when you're running ovens in the summertime, I think that's definitely a bad thing. So they want to try and reduce the sunlight coming in.
Well, the only other thing is unless we can suggest how it be done, but I guess that's going beyond our usual activity here, I
Yeah.
suppose.
And I think that may be part of the
Yeah.
problem is they don't really know exactly what they want. Because she was asking me, for suggestions. I was like, well, I don't know. What you want to, and I don't know if we can tell you what to do. It's give us some ideas of what you're thinking about, and we can tell you if it's okay or not. But I don't know if they know.
Okay.
And I did send them the application that Maria Miranda had submitted like a year ago now or so with her awning that she included in her COA that we did approve. And I did send that to the daughter as an example.
Yeah.
I didn't hear back from her, so
She said
I'm not sure.
She said she didn't have time to write as long a book as Maria did.
Well, yes, I know Maria was
Oh, okay.
extremely thorough. I can't remember what page she had her awning on, but I sent that to her as an example of what we approved in the past. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, the awnings that Maria got were things that attached to the flat side of the building.
right.
I'm not. If they want to keep that existing overhang, I really don't know what you would put on that. Something that hangs off the edge, or
Yeah. I know that, Richard, one of the things that you and I mentioned after follow-up with the applicant is maybe even blinds, because
Yeah.
they could at least chase the sun with that, lifting and closing as needed, and they wouldn't need a COA for blinds. I don't know if you would mention that to them or not.
I had when I went back in again, and I mentioned the idea of vertical type blinds, or, if they just think about some of the restaurants they've been in the past themselves, where places have had sun issues, that there are several different kinds of blinds that they could get. that would roll up, roll down, whatever, different methods of opening and closing, that would take care of the sunlight problem for them. They were getting tired of being talked to, I guess, when I went in there. I had a conversation with them that, hey, relax, it's almost over. Well, maybe not, but
I know.
I wish they would have the courtesy, if they're going to go with that kind of idea, that they tell us so that we don't have to concern ourselves with the awnings, because there is no physical manner that you could attach an awning to that overhang and have it be structurally sound.
Yeah.
So a good wind would take it off, and it wouldn't solve their problem. And you'd have to have the awning come down so far that it wouldn't solve the problem.
Yeah.
Either they would be totally, behind the awning and nobody could see them.
Right.
Or they get the sun.
Well, it sounds like we're never going to know what it's going to look like. And if we have to deny it, maybe we could just suggest blinds. That's actually a great idea. It sounds like an answer to me.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good idea, Richard. I mean, it seems like that would actually do a better job of cutting down the sunlight.
Yeah, and it would cost about half as much, if not
Yeah,
less.
and then they don't have to decide what this is going to look like and present it to us again. And they just have their problem solved. I think that's a good idea.
So I'm going to stay away from that place, though. It has a very bad influence on my waistline.
No matter whether it has an awning or not. Huh?
Right.
Yeah. I live in walking distance, so it's
The temptation.
yeah.
We could recommend they put up an awning that disposes of the calorie intake as you
There you
eat the
go.
product. Yeah.
Calorie
I don't
one.
know. Well, I guess there's not much else we could do about this, it seems.
So, we have a motion on the floor. We'll put the motion.
We have a motion right now to discuss, but now I will entertain a motion to deny the application as submitted.
I so move.
Thank you, Richard. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
No.
I'll just throw in that it doesn't matter if myself, Greg, or Richard, we can figure out which one of us want to go chat with them. I think someone should go follow up with them and just explain the results of the commission meeting tonight, and try to facilitate another option for them. So it doesn't matter if it's me, Greg, Richard, I don't care. Whoever can get there first.
Short straw. How's that?
We'll draw straws. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can figure that out via email afterwards, but I just wanted
Okay.
to make a motion that during discussion, one of the commission members will follow up with the owners to discuss the meeting and the results of the meeting. So thank you,
Sure.
guys.
Okay.
So I will do a roll call vote, just basically where you guys are in my screen. So Richard,
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Nancy,
I
and then Regan, aye. So the motion passes unanimously. Thank you,
Sorry.
everybody.
I think I missed it. Who seconded that?
That was Greg, Catherine.
Thank you.
You got it. Okay, so the next COA we have here is COA 45334 East Town Street. And I would make a motion to, or I would entertain a motion to approve the application as presented and submitted.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Nancy. Or actually, do you want to make the motion, Nancy?
Oh, yes, I'll make the motion as you stated.
Thank you. And then we need a second.
Second.
Thank you, Richard. Any discussion?
No, I don't think so. I think they came back and changed what we wanted them to change, so I think it's good.
All right, great.
Yeah, seems appropriate, I think.
Sounds good.
I'm not sure why she didn't do that originally and thought that aluminum sashes would be better, or aluminum storm windows would be better, but whatever.
Hey, it's all good now.
Right.
Any further discussion?
No,
Hearing none, I will do the roll call vote again. So Richard,
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Nancy,
aye.
and I'm going to abstain just because I've been working with the applicant and I didn't think it's appropriate that I vote on it, but the motion will still carry with my abstention. So thank you all very much. Next item is COA 454, 7 East Town Street. I would entertain a motion to approve the application as presented and submitted.
So moved.
Thank you, Greg. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Nancy. Any discussion?
No, I'm happy hearing that the concrete is going to be covered with stone, so I think we're good.
Sounds good.
Yep, that also seems appropriate. Okay,
Great. So hearing no further discussion, I'll do the roll call vote again. So Richard,
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Nancy,
aye.
and I will also add my aye to the mix here. So the motion passes unanimously. Thank you, everybody. Next up is COA 455 for Scotland Road. And I would also entertain a motion to accept the application as presented and submitted.
So moved.
Thank you, Greg. Is there a second?
No second.
Richard,
Richard.
thank you. Thank you, Richard. Any discussion?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like pretty straightforward. And
Yeah, he's gonna do a lot of demolition work.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming off that house.
he's going to have a tough time getting back there because that property is pretty narrow.
Yeah, it is.
all right.
Oh, well.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll do the roll call vote. So Richard,
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Nancy,
Aye.
and Regan, aye. The motion passes unanimously. Thank you, everybody. And the last item on the agenda, we have COA 456 Crossway Street, the Little Plains Park. I would entertain a motion to approve the application as submitted and presented.
I move we approve it as submitted and presented.
Thanks, Nancy. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Oh, okay.
Greg, great. Thank you so much.
That's good.
I know there's a battle for second over here. Any discussion?
I think it's great that this is happening. A nice improvement.
Yeah, I agree. Totally excited about this.
Yeah, I think it's good they're doing it, so this is a good thing.
Awesome. Any further discussion?
Nope.
Hearing none, I'll do the roll call for the final time here. Richard,
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Nancy,
Aye.
and Regan, aye. So the motion carries and passes unanimously. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. All right, getting back to my agenda here. So next on our agenda for the regular meeting is approval of minutes of the Wednesday, April 21st, 2021 regular meeting. So I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
I move we approve the minutes. There was the tiniest of typos, which
Okay,
is really, really, really super picky, but with that little, it's under COA 448, where it said I made a motion to approve the COA was written. It's just supposed to be as written, extremely minor. But anyway,
Sounds
I
good.
move to approve with that tiny little typo correction. It's supposed to say as written, not was written.
Sounds good. Thank you, Nancy. Is there a second to Nancy's motion?
I'll second.
Thanks, Greg. Any further discussion on the minutes? Always a great job as always, Catherine. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
your help.
I think so.
All right.
Well done.
Yes, well done. Thank you, Catherine. We are most appreciative of you. So hearing no further discussion, she says thank you via the chat.
I see that, yes.
Hearing no further discussion, I will do a roll call vote to accept the minutes with the amended as Nancy pointed out. So Richard,
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Nancy,
Aye.
and Regan, aye. The motion carries and the minutes are passed. Thank you all so much. So the next item that I just want to briefly mention under Chairman's report is the city attorney did tell me that the rules regarding Zoom meetings for city commissions may be changing. He's going to keep me posted based on any updates the governor provides. So my point is, I don't know if we're going to be meeting virtually next month or if we will be meeting in person. So I will keep you guys posted as I hear.
Kind of nice meeting by Zoom. It's actually quicker for me to get home than it is to try and get downtown to City Hall. So it's
Yeah.
I can sit
Yeah.
here. I can sit here and have something to drink while we're meeting. I don't
Yeah.
have to get to City Hall.
Yeah, I
This is
agree.
clearly easier.
Mike did say that he's heard a lot of positive responses regarding meeting virtually with other commissions. So
Yeah,
I will wait for further recommendation from him. He said there may be a possibility for these kind of Zoom meetings to continue. I'm not sure yet, so I'll keep everybody in the loop.
I think they're actually better, and they're almost problem-free. They seem to go pretty smoothly, actually.
Yeah, and I think it encourages more applicant participation because they easily can just pop on at home and then pop off and not have to drive. So
I know.
Yeah,
Saves
certainly.
on gas.
I mean, I can see for some meetings where there might be wider, a bunch of people that might want to just drop in on the meeting and observe. But I'm not sure that, but for this committee, it's not like other than Damien who's sitting here hanging out. We don't get too many people that want to just come in and see the meeting.
right. That's true. Yeah. So I'll keep everybody posted. I hope to know more before our next meeting. So I'll let everybody know.
All right.
The other thing I just wanted to bring up quickly under old business is that I did submit or I did go out to bid with our RFP, our CLG RFP to update our design guidelines. I got some names of consultants from Preservation Connecticut. And so I sent those RFPs to those recommended consultants by Preservation Connecticut. I set a deadline of June 2nd for responses with the hope and anticipation of reviewing all the RFPs at our June meeting for us to make a decision on. And I think our meeting is on June, I'm just checking my calendar here. June 16th.
according to the agenda.
Yep, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so June 16th is when I will have hopefully lots of RFPs submitted to share with everybody. Any questions on that or any follow-up or?
Just before we even look at RFP responses, do we have evaluation criteria set?
That's a great idea. I did have some evaluation criteria listed in the RFP, but I can create a formal document for us to have in advance of the June meeting. So that's a great idea. Thank you very much for that. I'm just going to make a note.
I live in the world of government contracting, and you always, in order to keep things on a fair and even playing field as much as possible, I mean, usually evaluation criteria are usually set before any of the evaluations are looked at. So.
Thank you for that. I'm just gonna hang on. Sorry, I can't talk and write at the same time.
Yeah. Which is why it's so great having Catherine take minutes, huh?
I know.
Yeah, right.
So what I will do is I will take the evaluation criteria that I have listed in the RFP, And I'll just make a pretty document for the HDC to have in advance of the June meeting. So I'll send that likely via email if that works for everybody.
Yep.
All right, great. That is all I have for everybody. I don't have anything else under new business. I'm actually really quite surprised that we got through this agenda so quickly.
And we were blasting through things. I had one thing I wanted to ask about, Regan.
Sure.
Who is responsible for like the cemetery in northern, the north, or the burying grounds, I should say, not the cemetery. But is the city responsible for the upkeep of that?
Yeah, technically the cemetery, now you're gonna have me saying cemetery, gosh. The burying ground is owned by the city of Norwich, and Public Works is responsible for mowing the grass, maintaining it, etc.
Yeah. I mean, can we give them some input? I mean, they really need to do some tree trimming and cutting some trees down. There are so many dead trees and limbs come down, and if some of those bigger ones come down, lots of gravestones are going to be just demolished.
Yeah.
And there's some places where trees have just kind of taken over. You can't even see some of the gravestones because they're buried under the tree.
I will ask Public Works. I know that they were doing some last season. I know they were doing some tree trimming and tree work, but I can follow up to see if they were planning on doing any more this season.
Yeah, the only tree work I've seen them do is actually along the creek, along the brook. They didn't take down any of the things that would actually damage gravestones.
So what area are you referring to, Greg? Just so that I know you can always email me or text me after, but just when I follow up with them.
If you enter up by the UCS on the upper level there, on the right-hand side, there's this huge evergreen type tree that is like covered over probably 3 or 4 or more gravestones under the branches, and that thing just looks so scraggly and awful.
Gotcha.
And then all along the edges on the there's several dead trees along as you continue on down towards the new flagpole. There's dead trees on the left-hand side that some of them have dropped branches already, and then I think there's some. If you go out the cemetery lane side, there's some dead trees there too, which may actually be on the Banks property, but I think this town cut down one of those trees a year or two ago.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm just making notes of that. Thanks, Greg.
Yeah.
You could always do a walk if you wanted to point them out specifically to me. Damien, I know you have your hand raised, but we are in the regular meeting and I don't think I can have you speak, unfortunately.
When it's over, when you're done.
Oh, well, but when we're done, I have to end, and then, because I can't, if it continues, then we're still recording. And then you could always talk to me after, Damien. You could call me or something if you needed to talk to me about something.
No, it was collectively for the HDC.
I'm trying to think about how that works.
Can't you just
It
turn
should
the
be at the
recording?
end. I'm on the Historic District Commission in Weathersfield, as you know. So it'll be at the end as we open the floor if there's any public commentary on anything to bring before the commission, but before we sign off. So I don't think there would be anything inappropriate. This will be quick. 2 things.
Okay. Well, hang on, Danny. Let me just follow up with Greg, and then we'll do that. Okay. Then I'll open the floor. Just give me 1 second to just follow up with Greg here. So I will follow up with Public Works, Greg. If you and I want to do a kind of walkthrough, and you can show me some of the trees, like I can take pictures of them so that I can really show Public Works what we mean. That's fine.
Yeah, sounds good. Actually, I'll be over in the meadow Saturday morning because we're doing a meadow cleanup on Saturdays.
Oh, cool. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, perfect. So you and I will follow up with that.
But any other time, yeah, I walk through all the time.
Sounds good. Okay. So now I will open the floor to hear any business before the commission. So Damien, please go ahead.
Howdy, strangers. Good to see you all. It's been a long time. So as you know, we live here, but we also live in Weathersfield. So as an elector in Weathersfield, I serve every 2 weeks on the commission up there. Just one little piece of helpful advice when you're doing the Zoom things, because we're doing the same thing, of course. The one thing that we found that was a problem with Zoom calls was having live samples of the building materials that some of these folks
Right.
would provide. So we came up with a solution that the chairman, it doesn't have to be you, Regan, it could be anybody, somebody on the commission who lives within the walking distance, most central location, could have something like on their back porch or front door area or something where people could come see the samples. So I just wanted to mention that in passing. That wound up making a huge difference for us because we had 3 different restaurants throwing in new lighting, new patio, this, that, and the other thing, awnings, all this, COVID compliance kind of stuff where they were trying to do more dining outdoors. And we got burned by not having the light samples. Looking at a cut sheet or PDF didn't, quite frankly, cut it, pun intended. Speaking of tree work, when I had the ceremony in 2018 at the Jedediah Huntington grave, Peter Nystrom was standing there, he goes, "Oh, wow, there's a lot of tree work that needs to be done here." So that's the part that was by the creek.
Okay.
So that's great. And maybe talking with the town manager, I mean, that's up to you guys. Historical note, I think, and then I'll get to why I'm actually on here. Historical note, as I understand it, the cemetery burying ground was originally owned and operated not by the city. I don't know when the transfer occurred, but it used to be the Congregational Church. I found a note to that in the records, whatever
Really?
that would be.
The Congregational Church across the green?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Now, the reason I'm on here actually, and this will be quick, it's not within the purview of any HDC. It's more like just a kind of a follow-up. So I'm glad you brought up the trees. Related note, Richard, you had mentioned there's new owners at 16 Huntington Lane. We all know this is the Jebez Huntington house. The lawn hasn't been mowed since they bought the house. Does anybody know what's going on, who the owners are, or how they could be reached?
Well, we know who the owners are.
Okay.
I don't have their names off the top of my tongue here, but
yeah,
we can look them up easy enough. But they may not be living there yet.
They live in Stonington, as you informed me.
Yeah.
Is there a general plan in sort of a planning and zoning kind of way what their plan is with the property? Is it residential or?
Well, it's going to be. It's kind of odd, in my mind. Anyway. She wants to raise, with that barn in the back, she wants to raise miniature horses and miniature cattle.
Maybe that's why they're not mowing.
Pasture land.
So that's her goal with the side note that she can go bring them down to like Leffingwell and have a petting zoo or something.
Okay.
And they got what, 4.6 acres, I seem to remember. So it's a nice piece of land, and she had all kinds of big plans for it, but her husband's very, very ill.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right. Well, this is why I wanted to come on, just so I could get feedback from all of you in case somebody had an answer. So thank you, Richard.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would take multiple emails and phone calls. So
yeah.
This was great. Thank you for letting me speak, Regan.
Her husband had a stroke, and he's basically wheelchair.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that explains the wheelchair I saw in the driveway. Pam and I have been just so busy and out of town running around that we haven't met them yet, but we're going to try to come over and go over and just say hi sometime.
Yeah.
Say welcome to the neighborhood, so.
Understood. Yeah, she has several things that are going to need COA action when she gets to them.
Sure. Sure.
I was good seeing you, Damien. I was just saying the other night when we were at I was over at the Lothorpe Meadow meeting, and I was like, man, I haven't seen Damien in a long time.
I'm changing roles. I'm wearing different hats, and I'm glad that I reached out to Regan. I finally remembered that this was scheduled for tonight. So I was texting Regan and Dane this morning going, hey, what about that HDC? I want to hop on the Zoom, say hi to you guys. And because I knew you were going to be handling, the Huntington mansion and the windows issue. And anytime that happens for our commission, it's a big deal. And of course, I knew you guys were on top of it. And I was very pleased just to, say informally how it played out. So kudos to you guys.
Thank you.
It's a win-win. I think they're going to benefit too, it seems like.
I think so too. I think it'll be great.
Nice. So good to see you all. And
Yeah.
I did resign from the commission, but not without filling a space. Greg, you must have met my new friend Jake Stahl, who lives over on Washington Street. Hopefully he was able to attend.
No.
Did you have it as a Zoom or at?
No, we met at Candace's, but he wasn't there. No.
Okay. All right. So I'll just follow up with Candace and make sure she remembers that because Jake can't wait to get involved and help out.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, you sent me a few emails too. He seems very nice.
Yes. So, let me tell you guys, if you ever need a favor, he helped. I couldn't figure out how to assemble a bed here in the house. There was an outdoor thing. His alarm went off, and I went over and checked his alarm. So we've been doing a lot of those kind of like good neighborly favors for each other. He's great. He just had his 55th birthday last week, and I'm sure once I let him know, he's probably seen the sign I saw that you had on the fence about the cleanup. He's going to want to be out there helping.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Cool. Any other business to bring before the commission?
No,
Hearing
just
none. Oh, go ahead,
where is
Nancy.
Tim? Where's Tim?
Tim is in Aruba, the lucky guy.
Oh, wow.
I know. I feel like I remember last month he said he was going to join virtually, but I had my sneaking suspicion.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like a
I
fun
don't think
thing to
I'd
do
join
from-
either.
Yeah, from Aruba, I don't think so. Oh, that's great. Good for him.
Can you imagine it'd be like wallpaper, the ocean scene with the palm tree and
I
a
know.
bottle of Corona or something? Yeah.
Except this time it would be real, not on wallpaper.
Right. Yeah.
That's too funny.
Uh,
So the next meeting we have is on Wednesday, June 16th at 5:30, and I'll keep everyone appraised if it's in person or virtual. We shall see.
Good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So,
I move we adjourn.
all right. Nancy,
Awesome. All those in favor? Oh, wait, sorry, I need a second. Sorry, I
Second.
forgot.
Second. Move
Second, and all those in favor?
Aye.
Hey,
Aye.
time.
Bye.
Thank you. Yes,
Nice
everyone
seeing
go
you.
enjoy your dinner. Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye,
Thanks.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.